The Last Samurai is very helpful. The Last Samurai was an excellent historical fiction movie taking place during the Meiji period of Japanese history. The Japanese emperor is ecstatic for acquiring all Western ideas, cultures, and styles. Japan believed that they must create a large Western-style military. The samurai was moderately connected as a result of they weren't as progressive as the Japanese army and a lot of guns and cannons, whereas the samurai within the movie only had horses, swords, bow, and arrows. This movie will be connected in stimuli diffusion. Why? Because the depiction of the township, the structure, and the standard of living were accurate to the era. So, the main character in the movie, who is Captain Nathan Algren, he is a tax collector, officials, landlords, and military officer hired emperor in Japan. By then, when Algren arrived in the place of Katsumoto, the person who excellent in samurai, he lived there as a part or portrayed as a simple farmer, working their land and protecting their property. Algren also found herself and felt peace at the place of Katsumoto, even though he is not captain in military in that place, but he enjoyed the live in that place. He also protecting the place that he even born in the first place. But now he fight for people that eventually he knows. So this movie, The Last Samurai, is very helpful to understand the culturization and modernization now. Because some of people was fighting for the modernization before. Most of people old age or born in 1950s or 1980s. They say the life before is very hard. So, but now it is easy because of technologies. In otherwise, most of people can get over to their life before. But what we should do? There's no way to go back before. As per Captain Nathan Algren, in that movie, he clarified or he helped us to understand more the situation now and before. So, find your own comfortable life and find your own peace. It's okay if you want to live or live in life before, or your the situation before, like province you want to live in. It's okay, and it's very okay if you want to live now in moderation now, like more on technologies. It's okay, but we all respect our decision or our choices in our life, but don't compare the life before and now, and don't push to change the world as a life before.
Sa unang bahagi ng po sa The Last Samurai by Sa Mundo Ngayon Velasquez. Yan po. Sa unang bahagi ng storya na makita po natin is yung pagkakaisa po at pagtutulong-tulong. Sa simula po ng kwento, si Nathan Algren or ginampanan po ni Tom Cruise ay isang Amerikanong sundalo na malungkot at walang pag-asa. Ngunit sa kanyang pagtatagpo sa mga samurai, natutunan niya na ang tunay na kalakasan ay matatagpuan sa pagtulong sa isa't isa at pagkakaisa. Sa pamamagitan ng pagsasama-sama at pakikipaglaban, natuklasan ni Algren na ang pagkakaisa ang magdadala sa kanila sa tagumpay. Ang pangalawang aral ay ang pagpapahalaga sa kultura at tradisyon sa mundo ngayon, kung saan mabilis ang pagbabago at modern. Mahalaga na hindi natin kalimutan ang ating mga pinagmulan. Sa kwento ng The Last Samurai, ipinakita ang kahalagan ng mga tradisyon ng samurai at ang kanilang paniniwala sa pagiging tapat sa mga prinsipyo. Sa pamamagitan ng pag-aaral at pag-unawa sa kanilang kultura, natutunan ni Algren na ang mga tradisyon at prinsipyo ang magbibigay kahulugan sa kanyang buhay. Ang retribution naman po ng kwento ay ang sakripisyo at pag-alay ng buhay ni Katsumoto para sa kanyang mga prinsipyo. Sa huling laban, ipinakita niya ang tapang at katapatan sa kanyang mga samurai. Ang kanyang pagkamatay ay nagpatunay na ang mga prinsipyo at pagmamahal sa kalayaan ay mas mahalaga kaysa sariling buhay. Ang kanyang kabayaran ay naging simbolo ng karapangan at inspirasyon sa iba upang ipaglaban ang kanilang mga paniniwala. So, yun.
The Last Samurai is a 2003 epic historical war film directed by Edward Zwick. It stars Tom Cruise as Nathan Algren, a disillusioned American soldier hired to train the Japanese Imperial Army in the late 19th century, during Japan's Meiji Restoration period. The movie is set in a time of great cultural change in Japan, which makes it interesting to connect to the concept of stimulus diffusion. Stimulus diffusion is a cultural anthropology term that refers to the process by which cultural traits, ideas, or innovations spread from one culture to another, often with modifications or adaptations to suit the receiving culture's norms and values. Let's see how The Last Samurai can be connected to stimulus diffusion. Western influence in Japan. During the Meiji Restoration, Japan underwent significant changes as it embraced modernization and sought to strengthen itself against Western colonial powers. The film depicts how Western influence, including military technology and industrialization, diffused into traditional Japanese society. Nathan Algren's presence as a Western outsider in Japan serves as a catalyst for his cultural exchange, as he shares his military knowledge with the Japanese soldiers he trains. Cultural exchange and adaptation. As Nathan Algren spends time with the samurai and learns about their values, customs, and the way of life, there is a mutual cultural exchange between him and the samurai. This exchange leads to an adaptation of some of the samurai's beliefs by Algren and vice versa. Stimulus diffusion occurs as elements of both cultures are incorporated into each other. In summary, The Last Samurai illustrates how stimulus diffusion occurs during a period of cultural transformation in Japan. The movie portrays the exchange of ideas, beliefs, and practices between the Western and Japanese cultures, leading to significant changes in both societies. Through the story of Nathan Algren and the samurai, the film highlights the complexities and challenges of cultural diffusion and adaptation.
The Last Samurai can be attributed to the cultural exchange depicted in the film. In the film, an American military officer, played by Tom Cruise, captures samurai warriors in Japan during the Meiji Restoration. As he spends time with the samurai, he begins to adapt their customs, values, and fighting techniques, eventually becoming sympathetic to their cause. This can be seen as an example of stimulus diffusion because the main character first brings his own ideas and views from Western culture to Japan. However, as he immerses himself in the samurai way of life, there is a diffusion of cultural elements. The samurai influence him, and he, in turn, introduced new ideas and strategies to the samurai, mixing elements of both cultures. Stimulus diffusion in film represent the exchange and adaptation of ideas between different cultural groups. It highlights how cultural boundaries can be crossed and through interaction, new ideas can emerge, transforming both the individuals involved and the societies they represent.
Stimulus diffusion is when the things you practice or you know like games or tradition changes because of a new trend or ideas. It is like when old people embrace their old tradition like playing games instead of using gadget and they think we are lazy or inactive because we choose to stay inside of our house than playing outside. And we were going to make an video essay about the movie titled The Last Samurai. Before anything else, I'm going to give you a little summary of the story. Algen is a captain who assigned to train his army in order to fight Katsumoto. Katsumoto is still using samurai to fight, and they are still using armor just like an old samurai, even though their country has an advanced technology like gun and cannon. But they choose to live as a samurai and use sword or katana. And because of that, the general of the army are laughing. And when Algren and Katsumoto fight, Algren and his army lost and they took Algren in their place where Katsumoto observed their discipline and he lived as a samurai. And he became Katsumoto allied until the very end of their life. When they fight the army, they are all died except to Algren because they had a gun and cannon. But there are a lot of armies who lost their life in the battle. This movie is perfect for our topic, which is stimulus diffusion, because we can see here the definition of stimulus diffusion, which is having advanced na technology and having people who can't let go their old practices like Katsumoto. Even though they had an advanced technology like gun, they still choose to be a samurai or use a sword. We will see that they can't accept the new technology or new weapon because they want to preserve their culture and follow their ancestors, and also because this is part of their culture. And we will also see the part where generals are laughing because they are using sword instead of gun. They are discriminating them because they can't understand why they are still using sword, just like nowadays. There are people who can't understand people who are playing outside or the elders who used to play outside, always telling that they are more active physically than millennials or people in this generation because they are playing outside of their house while we are only playing using gadget. Discrimination exists because we can't understand their situation because we didn't experience it, or they can't keep up with the new technology and ideas. Just like Algren, he is the enemy of Katsumoto until he understands their situation and team up with them.
Halos lahat ng cultural samurai nakikita ng ilang aspeto ng stimulus. Ang stimulus diffusion ay kapag ang isang ideya ay kumalat mula sa kultural na apoyan nito palabas, ngunit ang orihinal na ideya ay binago ng mga bagong gumagamit. Halos lahat ng cultural diffusion ay magkakaroon ng ilang aspeto ng stimulus diffusion dahil sa mga paraan na umaangkop ang kultura sa mga bagong kondisyon sa kapaligiran, panlipunan at pampolitika. Gaya na lamang ng pelikulang The Last Samurai. Habang nagbabago at nagbabago ang mga bansa, ang mga tradisyon at kaugalian hindi dapat kalimutan ng mga tao nito. Yan ang pangunahing mensahe ng pelikula at kung bakit ang samurai nakipaglaban at namatay upang mapanatili ang kanilang lugar sa lipunan ng Hapon kaysa mabago sa isang bagay na hindi sila. Bagamat ang pangunahing salungatan ng pelikula ay nasa loob ng kulturang Hapones, sinasaklaw nito ang pagkawala ng pagkakakilanlan sa kultura at kung paano pinipili ng ilang Hapones na yakapin ang isang mas modernong kulturang kanluran. Sa pamamagitan ng paggawa nito, tinutulak nito ang mga pagkakaiba sa kultura. Ang mga pagkakaiba sa pagitan ng mga kultura ay pinakakilala, gayunpaman sa mga estilo ng parehong pandiwang at di-verbal na komunikasyon.
Ito ay isang pelikula na pinagbibidahan ni Tom Cruise. At ang kwento nito ay isa siyang magiting at magaling na sundalo sa Amerika. Tapos siya ay pinadala sa Japan para makipagdigma. Dahil bihasa siya sa digmaan, siya ang napili ng Amerika.